The advice that he gives, you can actually listen to and follow because he gives really, really good advice. Neil's our bad expert. You might want to think twice about listening to Neil's advice. Hudson is our worst expert. Do not listen to a word this man says. None of it. What I need from you is what are they experts on? What is their expertise?
Video dancing. Car repair.
Girls.
Relationship.
Competitive eating. Shakespeare.
Ooh.
French Revolution.
I like competitive eating. I don't like competitive eating, but I like the suggestion. All right. So, first we'll introduce our panel to you, and then I'll start asking them some questions. And then I'm going to send it out to you to ask questions, and make sure that you have some questions going on in your mind. So when it comes to your turn, you will be able to ask. So please introduce yourself.
Sure thing. I am Dr. Nathan.
And tell us about yourself, Dr. Nathan.
Well, I have been studying gastronomy and gastronomy for quite a while. And I am just fascinated by how much the human body can actually consume in a very short amount of time.
Thank you. And who are you, sir?
My name's Joe. I've been really enjoying the Burgers podcast.
You're the guy.
Can't beat 'em.
And you, sir?
My name is Orion.
And
I'm a coal miner.
alrighty then. Well, Dr. Nathan, Joe, and Orion, thank you so much for joining us. So let's talk about competitive eating. So what is the history of competitive eating? When did people be like, let's see how much I can eat before I die? When did that happen?
Sure, it actually was in 1912. There was this fella named Stan, and he actually had just gotten off a boat near Atlantic City. He'd been out to sea for a very, very long time, and unfortunately, they did not have enough food on the ship. So when he got off, there he was, and just absolutely starving. And he just started to eat, and he worked his way down from a pretzel stand to a hot dog stand to shrimp on a stick. And then someone noticed that, and he was eating so much food, and they're like, wow, he sure is doing that in a short amount of time. And then someone got an idea and said, you know what, I wonder if he could do it faster tomorrow. And there is where it all began.
Wow, I never knew that. 1912, huh?
Yeah, 1912, Stan.
Wow,
Yeah.
what did you learn? So tell me a little bit about the history. Like, what's up with competitive eating?
Well, I am always going to appreciate a good Five Guys burger, but when the McDonald's Big Mac first came out, oof, those things were flying off the shelves, and I gotta be honest, I'm pretty sure that was one person.
I didn't know. Orion, competitive eating.
My friend ate a lot of coal. And then he passed out.
Wow. Alright. So, out of all the foods that competitive eaters eat, like, what's the most popular food?
Oh, the most popular is actually hot dogs. And I think that is due to their shape, because if you've ever noticed during the competition, a competitive eater or the panel will actually separate the dog from the bun. They dunk the bun into the water, and then they shove it down their gullet, and then the shape of the hot dog is just perfect for going down the esophagus. A lot of people don't realize that once the stomach starts to get full, you can still store anywhere from 10 to 12 hot dogs right in the esophagus. Sometimes you think when you're talking to them that it's their uvula, but it's not. That's the end of a wiener sticking out.
Well, everyone's favorite part of a burger, ketchup. I mean, just, you get one of those famous just ketchup bottles. You can just open it and really plain and simple.
Does the ketchup, like, help the food go down easier?
No.
Silly me, sorry for asking. Ryan, best food for competitive eating?
Coal.
skinny. How do they stay skinny?
Well, that's just it, is that a lot of people don't realize that they do train for a very long time leading up to the competition. But what happens is that the training is just, I said a long time, it's really only a week or two. But that's, and the competition, and that's the only food they eat that entire year. So they actually do gain a little weight after the competition, but then it slowly dissipates with their metabolism. And then that's pretty much what they have for sustenance for the rest of the year.
So they don't eat after that, they just,
Well, they may have small bites of like I said, of seafood or some other things, just a high protein item throughout the year. But really, they're not hungry.
so same question?
Well, a couple good jabs to the gullet should, straighten them out. And any way you can get an excuse to just get a couple of right jabs in there.
How does that help you them thin?
Well, it, when the fat is nowhere else to go.
So tell me, Orion.
They eat and then they die.
So that's it?
Yeah,
Is that only with coal, or is that with actual food too?
I'm not sure.
Appreciate your honesty. All right. So, what kind of questions do you have about competitive eating for our panel of experts? Just raise your hand. Yes, you in the back.
Yes, I'm super skinny. Would I be good at competitive eating?
Would you be good at competitive eating?
Well, it all depends on, in a lot of cases, how big your stomach area is, because you do have to train to expand that area to hold the hot dogs, oysters, shrimps on sticks, whatever else is the competition is for. Cheese curds.
What do you think? Competitive eater back there?
You're right if I punch you in the stomach. You're good.
Ryan, what do you think?
People don't survive the cold eating.
Not gonna survive if you eat cold. All right, I saw you had your hand up. What's your question?
I said, how do you train to become a competitive eater?
How do you train to become a competitive eater?
Well, I have actually seen various techniques from some of the world leaders to where they will actually sit down and eat, as many hot dogs, or even to expand their stomach before a competition, to drink gallons upon gallons of water, and then try and hold it for as long as they possibly can.
Sounds uncomfortable.
It is.
Same question?
Well, if you're going for the most, common way of competitive eating, which is ketchup, you gotta first get used to it and get used to that kind of uncomfortableness, and then be ready to take a couple of punches in the stomach.
And you, Ryan?
Become a coal miner.
You have another question? You in the back.
Do they actually eat the sticks on the shrimp and the sticks?
That'd be a question for you.
Sure, yeah, they do. What's kind of interesting is that the sticks are actually made out of graham cracker. And that way you can actually eat the whole thing together. It's a fusion thing that's kind of popular in only some parts of the world.
Good answer. Got any more questions? Yes, you in the back.
For Orion, have you ever gotten stuck in a coal mine?
Great question. Have you ever gotten stuck in a coal mine, Ryan?
I've eaten a coal mine.
You're eating a coal miner.
No,
Good.
not allowed to.